What happened at the start of the fourth quarter where Brooklyn was able to climb back into this one?
Man, they got hot. I mean, they got 2 bucket getters. Definitely some defensive breakdowns, but those guys are 2 of the most elite scorers in this league. I think they were 8 for 9 on mid-range shots. Like some tough shots, but we definitely had some breakdowns. What's bothered me now is the rebounding. Like, you make shots, great, but then if they're missing, when they do miss and they're getting the offensive rebound, that's the stuff we gotta, that'll just kill you. So we lost a possession game in the second half. We gotta address our rebounding issues.
Do you think the rebounding issue is a hustle thing? Is it a schematic thing? I know you haven't watched the film, but what do you?
It's crazy, Dan. I mean, everybody's crashing in this league now, and we got to do a better job. Obviously they're shooting a lot of threes, long rebound. We know the whole story, and I know everybody's going to be on JA and Evan, but it's really it's a team rebounding game now. The way everybody is crashing, everyone's just flying in. We actually went through rebounding today in shooting. We did a drill, which we normally don't do. So we're just gonna have to address it and do better at it.
Spencer Davies clutch points. I feel like Jarrett got the message that you're talking about.
Man. Well, the players got the right. His teammates got the message. Like, get this dude the ball. Led the league in field goal percentage. We give him the ball. He's a happier dude, and he plays harder. And I thought he was the real difference maker. And he always, he likes coming back here and showing these guys, who he is.
As far as the shot quality too, it looks like you were generating them a lot more naturally, the way you guys kind of looked last year. A lot of one more passes going on. Like, is that what you're trying to see from the offense?
These guys are so coachable. We show them one film. Sometimes it takes 3-4 games before teams react. You get one film session, and let's get back to playing Cavs basketball. And we played some beautiful basketball. We couldn't make a shot in the second half. I thought our shot quality was really high throughout the game. It's just second half we couldn't get one to fall. I think I feel like we're still getting our legs under us, like regular season legs. I know a lot of those were when you're missing free throws and wide open threes. I definitely think we have some we gotta. Find our kind of conditioning rhythm. Right now, I feel like we got a little fatigue there.
Chris.
Kenny, what has Sam brought to the starting lineup?
And guys just love playing him. But he causes so much. Obviously, his gravity's tops in the league. But the other stuff, right? The grit, the toughness, the physicality. Like he's just I know he's a winner. Like Steve Kerr always just said, what position does that guy play? When you're really a winner. Like, he plays winner. He plays that position. He's just does all the dirty work, makes threes. That's why we gave him a nice contract this offseason. He if there's ever a guy that deserved it, he's the guy.
So when you have a game like this and you play so well for the first 3 quarters, but you have a fourth quarter like you did where it gets within 1 late in the game, how do you as a coach evaluate that? What do you take away from
Well, there's 2 things. I like to look at the analytics expected for, how much did they shoot over their head. And then I like to look at the film, before overreacting. Like I said, I think the one thing that stands out to me is the rebounding. We can live with guys making tough. This is the NBA. When you got Michael Porter Jr. and Cam, those guys are just bucket getters, and they're gonna go on runs. And we discussed on the bench. We start blitzing those guys. I didn't want to run around and give but maybe I got to look at it too. Like, should we have taken the ball out of their hands more? That could have been played a little, mix in some zone against them, which we did earlier. So we'll look at it. I'm not devastated because I think they made some great plays. Just the rebounding bothers me.
What was going through your head when the fan ran out on the court?
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. I was kind of like, thought it was strange. You never see that in an NBA game, you know. I think you see it in European soccer, right, when everyone just run out there and, it's bizarre.
And the last thing for me, you mentioned before the game about, mixing Lonzo in the closing group. What was your view of the little bit that you got to see of that?
Good, good. We debated, Dean or him to finish. That's always comes down to that debate. And I felt like we had a lead. I wanted Dean for rebounding and defense. And then kind of towards the end there, we put Lonzo back in for ball handling, obviously, and just give Don another. I don't know if I thought Jalen was really good. Really had 4 steals tonight, really good. And then CP, shout out to CP. I thought he was really good. Those 2 guys were really good in their minutes. Tyrese, you could feel like this is the NBA, right? Like this is regular season NBA. You play in the Garden, now you got only 1 day in between, now you got to play. So it's probably he felt what it's like to play, games so close together. 1 day rest, all that. You can tell he didn't have his legs at all.
Kenny, obviously it's so early in the season, but you guys, injuries, new players, high expectations, just how would you kind of evaluate or assess where your team is at right now?
Yeah, we're definitely not going to go 15-0.
Yeah, right.
That's for sure. I mean, yeah, I don't. We're not hitting on all cylinders. We came out of the gates really hitting on, last season. We're obviously trying to figure, and we got lineups out there where Tyrese is the point guard, right? Like, and CP's at the 2. Like, it's just, but we need that. For our growth, for their growth, for the long haul. See who can help us when it gets really, I could easily play 8 guys, and just play our guys that, but I don't. It's not my philosophy. We're gonna stick with these guys, and I think it's gonna help us in the long run, even though there might be some early setbacks.
And I just ask you too, just going from game 1 to game 2, how did you feel about progress from there?
Yeah, especially offensively, I think like Chris said and Dan touched on it. Like I think we're just much better generating the shots. We want to get our shot selection was much better, but we had to work to get it, and a lot of that was sharing it. I like we had thrust to the rim. Even at the end there, Evan got in the paint. Like I don't want Evan just to be on the perimeter. He's got to get to the rim more. J.A. getting to the rim tonight. That's kind of opens up our perimeter game. And even the second half, I thought we're generating good shots. Just couldn't make a shot.
Thank you.
All right.
Last one, Spence.
Just to go back to CP again, and you
Yeah.
said this in training camp that they're going to make you make difficult decisions. These young guys.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen with the guards. Just what lens do you view that in when you have CP and you have Tyrese and all these options to put in, and you're playing them together in the 3-guard sets too, and stuff like that. But how do you view that, and also like how to play that game when you're trying to manage the rotation that way?
Yeah, I mean, we're like I said, we're kind of forced into this situation a little bit because of our injuries, which is fine. But I think what's playing out here, right? Like if you look down the road, like I look like, well, when we are healthy, well, which of those guys can fit with that healthy group? And it can't be all 3 of them, obviously. I think these guys aren't dumb, right? They know it's a healthy competition I think they all want to be in the permanent rotation, right? And we're going to have to make that decision going forward. But, so far so good. Like I said, I think Tyrese was a little weird, a little fatigued today. I could see he wasn't his normal sharp self.